Imagine walking into your project manager interview, confident, prepared, and ready to own the room, because you already know the questions they'll ask and exactly how to answer them. Sounds too good to be true? Stay tuned because in this video, I'm going to walk you through the top 20 plus real-world project manager interview questions and expert-approved answers, complete with insider tips that will help you land your dream job. This isn't just theory. This is what real hiring managers want to hear. Let's go. First, introducing the role of a project manager. Before jumping into questions, let's quickly understand the role of a project manager. What is a project manager, PM? A project manager is the person responsible for planning, executing, and closing projects. They manage teams, resources, scope, deadlines, and stakeholders, all while ensuring the project delivers real business value. Whether it's launching a new product, building infrastructure, or migrating a system to the cloud, the project manager is the one making sure it all runs smoothly. Second, interview structure explained. Most project manager interviews follow a behavioral format, often using the STAR method: situation, task, action, result. Interviewers want to know how you've handled past projects, not just what you would do. Question 1. Tell me about yourself. What they're really asking. A quick snapshot of your professional identity, your background, key achievements, and how you're positioned for this role. How to answer. Stick to a short 1 to 2 minute answer. Focus on your experience, your strengths, and a few achievements that match the job you're applying for. Sample answer. Thank you for inviting me to be interviewed for this project manager position today. I'm a certified project manager with 8 years of experience managing cross-functional teams across software development, marketing, and infrastructure projects. In my last role at ABC Corp, I led a $3 million CRM implementation project that improved customer retention by 25%. I have an in-depth understanding of the project management lifecycle and the communication and relationship building skills. I believe the skills, qualities, and experience I have gained with a strong level of commercial awareness that makes me the ideal candidate for your organization. I'm passionate about aligning business goals with strategic execution, and I'm excited to bring that focus to your team. Pro tip, use the present, past, future structure. What you're doing now, what you've done in the past, and what you're aiming for next. So turn your achievements into structured responses for better clarity and impact. Also tailor this answer based on the job description and company industry. Question 2, why do you want to be a project manager? What they're really asking. Understanding what a project manager does, and can you demonstrate the skills and mindset needed to succeed in this position? How to answer. Connect your strengths and interests with the responsibilities of a project manager, for example, leadership, organization, collaboration, and highlight your understanding of the role's impact on team success and business outcomes. Sample answer. I want to be a project manager because I enjoy bringing structure to complexity and leading teams toward a common goal. In my previous roles, I found myself naturally stepping into leadership and coordination tasks, whether it was organizing cross-departmental initiatives or handling timelines and deliverables. For example, during a website redesign project, I led the coordination between designers, developers, and marketing. Watching the plan come together and the team succeed was incredibly rewarding. I see this role not just as a job, but as a career where I can continuously learn, add value, and grow as a leader. Pro tip, avoid generic answers like, because I like managing people, or I heard it pays well. Instead, show that you understand the role and genuinely enjoy the process of managing projects, leading teams, and solving real-world challenges. Question 3, why do you want to work for us as a project manager? What they're really asking. Have you researched the company, and do you understand its values, mission, or projects? Do your goals and experiences align with what they're looking for in a project manager? How to answer. Mention something specific about the company, such as its culture, products, recent projects, or reputation in the industry. Emphasize how your experience makes you a strong match for their needs as a project manager. Sample answer. I want to work for your company as a project manager because I truly admire your innovative approach to sustainable product development and your reputation for delivering complex projects on time. I was particularly impressed by your recent initiative in launching the Green Tech division. It shows your commitment to long-term impact, not just profits. That aligns strongly with my personal values and my experience leading cross-functional teams focused on responsible innovation. I'm excited about the opportunity to be part of a team that is forward-thinking, mission-driven, and focused on meaningful outcomes. Pro tip: never give a generic answer like, "I just need a job," or "Your company is big." Instead, research the company, check their website, press releases, and LinkedIn page, and speak to something specific that connects with your background or passion. Show them that you chose them, not just anyone. If you're watching and finding these Q&A helpful so far, make sure to like the video, share it with others who might benefit. So question 4, what are the 5 stages of the project lifecycle? What they're really asking. Understanding of the full project process from start to finish. And are you familiar with industry standard frameworks like PMI's PMBOK? How to answer: list the 5 standard stages in the correct order. Keep the explanation clear, structured, and confident. And you can mention how you've used this framework in past projects, if asked to elaborate. Sample answer: the 5 stages of the project lifecycle are: 1. Initiation. This is where we define the project at a high level, establish the business case, identify stakeholders, and assess feasibility. 2. Planning. Here we build the roadmap by defining scope, schedule, resources, budget, risk management plans, and communication strategy. 3. Execution. This is where we put the plan into action, coordinate people and resources, and lead the team to deliver project objectives. 4. Monitoring and controlling. This happens concurrently with execution. We track progress, manage changes, address risks, and ensure the project stays on scope, schedule, and budget. 5. Closing. Once deliverables are accepted, we close contracts, release resources, archive documentation, and hold lessons learned sessions. I've applied this cycle in multiple projects, including a recent CRM system rollout where clear planning and active monitoring helped us deliver ahead of schedule. Pro tip: don't just memorize the names of the stages. Know what each stage means and how they interconnect. For bonus points, relate your answer to real-world experience or industry tools like MS Project, Jira, or Asana. Question 5. What are the most important skills and qualities of a project manager? What they're really asking. Do you know what it truly takes to be an effective project manager? And can you self-assess your strengths and align them with the needs of the role? How to answer: choose 4 to 6 key skills that are relevant and in demand. Link 1 or 2 skills to a real project scenario to add depth. Sample answer: a successful project manager needs a combination of technical expertise and strong interpersonal skills. I believe the most important skills and qualities include: 1. Communication. Projects succeed or fail based on how well information flows. A project manager must clearly communicate goals, updates, and issues across diverse teams and stakeholders. 2. Leadership, guiding a team, motivating them, and keeping everyone aligned, especially under pressure, is essential. Leadership is about influence, not just authority. 3. Time and task management. Staying on schedule is non-negotiable. A PM must prioritize effectively, manage dependencies, and keep the team focused. 4. Adaptability. Projects rarely go exactly as planned. Being flexible and ready to pivot without losing momentum is crucial. For instance, during a software rollout, our vendor missed a key deadline. Because I had built contingency time into the schedule and maintained open communication, we were able to reorganize tasks and still launch on time. Pro tip: don't list too many skills. Focus on the core essentials that matter most for the role you're applying for. Tailor your response to what's emphasized in the job description. Question 6. What's the most challenging project you've worked on, and why was it difficult? What they're really asking. Can you handle pressure and complexity in real project situations? They're looking for resilience, problem-solving, leadership, and your ability to learn from experience. How to answer: pick a project that was genuinely challenging. Describe the main issue as clearly: scope creep, resource constraints, etc. Explain what you did to resolve it and how it turned out. Sample answer: one of the most challenging projects I managed was a website migration for a retail client with a tight 4-week deadline. Midway, the client changed several core requirements, causing scope creep and confusion among the dev team. I called an emergency stakeholder alignment meeting, froze the scope, reprioritized features using Moscow analysis, and got buy-in on a realistic go-live plan. We delivered the project just one day late, but with full functionality and client satisfaction. It taught me the importance of clear communication and scope control. Pro tip, keep it real and concise. Focus on your role, not just what happened. Show how you took action and improved the outcome, even if it wasn't perfect. Turn challenges into success stories using the STAR method. Situation, task, action, result. Question 7. How would you begin a newly assigned project? What they're really asking. They want to see if you can take a methodical approach right from the start, not jump in blindly. How to answer. Explain the initial steps, understanding objectives, identifying stakeholders, and defining scope. Sample answer. When I begin a new project, I first review the project charter and meet with key stakeholders to understand objectives, expectations, and constraints. I then identify the project scope, timeline, and available resources, and conduct a kickoff meeting to align the team. Pro tip, show that you focus on clarity, alignment, and planning, not just diving into execution. Bonus points if you mention tools like a RACY matrix or project charter. Question 8. What project management methodologies are you familiar with? This question tests your technical competence and adaptability. What they're really asking, understanding various project management approaches, and are you methodical and experienced in applying the right tool for the right situation? How to answer. Mention multiple methodologies you've worked with, explain where and how you use them, and emphasize adaptability and understanding of choosing the right method for the project type. Sample answer. I'm experienced in several project management methodologies. I've managed agile projects, especially using Scrum, where we worked in 2-week sprints with daily stand-ups and regular retrospectives. For example, while managing a SaaS product development team, Scrum helped us deliver incremental features with customer feedback loops. I've also worked with Waterfall, especially for infrastructure projects with fixed scopes, like a server migration for a financial client where each phase, planning, design, execution, and testing, had to be tightly sequenced. Additionally, I've used Kanban for marketing and support teams where tasks flow continuously, and a hybrid model for cross-functional projects combining waterfall milestones with agile execution. I choose the methodology based on the project's complexity, team structure, and stakeholder expectations, because one size doesn't fit all. Pro tip, tailor your answer based on the job description. If they mention Agile, lead with your Agile experience. If they're in construction, manufacturing, or finance, Waterfall might be more relevant. And always use real examples. It shows you're not just listing buzzwords. Conclusion. We've covered powerful responses to the first 8 questions. Looking for easy-to-understand notes on Project Manager Interview Q&A? Visit our website, Thinkiduka, your go-to resource for self-learners. But we're not done yet. In the next part, we'll dive into more advanced and behavioral questions of Project Manager. Thank you for watching, and leave a comment below and tell us which question you struggle with the most. We'd love to help. And I have a great video on project lifecycle in project management that you'll find useful. Click here to watch it next. I'll see you in part 2, where we'll continue to help you nail your project manager interview with confidence.